Hi there, welcome to Roxtalks. I'm Roxanne Wilson, and today I'm so excited to talk to you about what I think is a really important step in becoming an entrepreneur and being successful. No, it's not learning all of the business tools. It's not about funnels. It's not about lead magnets. It's not about any of that stuff. It's actually about finding I hate to say power partner or accountability partner, and you'll hear why I hate that later, but it's finding that person, I should say, that can help you, guide you, can be support that you can guide, that can go with you along that journey. And I thought the best way for me to talk about that and the benefits of it is to actually introduce you to mine. And so you've actually met her before if you've listened to past episodes of Rocks Talks, but I want to introduce you again to Megan Sumrall. Megan and I have been friends for a couple of years, but we have been each other's person for a few months, as you'll hear, and it's really made a big, big change. If you don't know Megan, check her out at megansumrall.com. She is the organizing queen, and I don't mean organizing your things, I mean organizing your life. She went through learning from going from being in the corporate world to then becoming an entrepreneur several times over. She had to, and a mom, I should say that as well too. She had to learn how to rework her time management skills, and through that, she's created these amazing strategies that are helping entrepreneurs, direct marketers, entrepreneurs, all of the above, really build their business and find that work-life harmony. So without further ado, let's check out this conversation I had with Megan Sumrall, and I hope you'll be able to grab some tidbits from it and find your person to help you grow. Let's listen. I am so excited to have back on the podcast for another round the wonderful Megan Sumrall. You know her from her Master Your Morning Challenge, as well as the top program, and her newest program, Achieve, is helping women do exactly that in a big and bold way. Hey, Megan, how are you?
Good. I'm so happy to be back. Thank you.
Thank you for being back. And I'm really excited about this because this is a little different. It's, we talk about the Instagram sales journey. We talk about growing your business as a network marketer. But today I want to talk about one element of the pie that is so essential in order to really get to where you want to go. And that's having a somebody.
A person.
Person. She's my person. And you're probably listening going, does she need an accountability partner? Why does she just say that? Or power partner? Why does she just say that? Why don't we just say that, Megan?
I will tell you why you and I both from the get-go were like, no, we're not accountability partners, because there is only one person that can ever make you accountable, and that is you. And that's why I see so many, quote, accountability partnerships fail. Everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to get this person and we're going to check in every night and we're going to share what we did and this and that. And everything goes great for 5 days. And then all of a sudden week 2 starts. It's like, wah, wah, wah. And it's because they are expecting that they have this relationship, that suddenly that is what is going to change the game. But accountability comes from within. If you are not motivated to do the work, doesn't matter if you got 20 partners or not, you aren't going to do squat. So that's why we both knew, no, because it's up to us to do the work. I am not accountable to you, and you are not accountable to me.
Exactly. And I love that. And I think in the network marketing world, most people start by finding an accountability, whatever you want to call it, a power partner who is usually in the same line as them. And then the next step is finding someone who has nothing to do with their business. I think what I hope today is that you'll hear some of the things of how you can find someone and how you find a good fit and what it actually can help you achieve. Because no pun intended, because there's a lot to it. So, Megan, you and I met through network marketing, but ironically, we weren't partners. We got to find a name for it. We weren't like, can we find just a temporary name for it? Something? I don't know. We weren't through our network marketing company. We did some things together in groups, but it wasn't this. I'm trying to remember, how do we even get on this road?
because someone in my team
Mm.
lived in Texas near you and had been to events and met you and was like, oh my gosh, she's this social media amazeballs person. And so I reached out to you to say, hey, can you pour some love on my team? Can I pay you to do some training for us? And that's how we first got connected,
Yeah,
really.
and then we started to our teams did some things together.
Yes,
But what I think is interesting is how, like, if you fast forward, because that was 2 years ago,
at least.
and like I would say that at the beginning, we really we were, but then like time happens, things happen. We were in and out, in and out. But how did we get to a point where we're talking on the daily? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
I know for me, we both have always been in each other's worlds because we've won incentive trips together, things like that. And when you are at a place where you are really in a high achieving mindset, where you're like, I am all in, you have to surround yourself with people that are at the same place you are. And if wherever that is, and you see them, you're
Yeah.
attracted to them.
Mhm.
And I know for me, I saw you building this awesome business, and I was over in my lane building, a different business, but building a business is building a business. We're both doing it virtually online. And I could see what you were doing, and I knew you were as all in as I was, but I also knew you had skill sets I don't have. I have skill sets you don't have. And I'm
Right.
thinking, wow, this could be a great partnership of just knowledge share, motivation, what's working for you. And so you and I just, I think, kind of started going, well, I'm trying this, I'm trying that, and both realized, okay, we're both like in it to win it,
Yeah.
and we're better together. We are better together when we share our ideas with each
Hashtag that.
other.
That's so true. And what you said, so many things that we said, I think is so dead on. And thank you for reminding. Because like I just woke up one day, like I
I
woke
know.
up
So
with
I'm
this
like,
Megan. I just woke up with
how did
Megan.
we start talking 20 times a day? I don't remember.
But I love the fact, and I think it's important for people to remember, you don't have to find someone in your exact company doing the exact thing that you're doing. Megan and I have online businesses, so that's similar. But other than that, I mean, they're totally different spectrums. Um, I mean, they do cross pollinate because one should be organized and one needs to be on social media. But other than that, it's different. And so I think it's good to know that you can find someone, like maybe you're in one realm and you've got a friend who's starting an online coaching business and you're doing network marketing, or maybe she's starting like I don't know, like personal training, whatever it may be. That does not mean that you guys cannot learn a lot from each other and really be great supports for each other. In fact, I think it's kind of refreshing to have someone or something that's not doing the exact same thing.
It is. And what I love about the way we work is one of there's a phrase I always struggle with, which is that be abundant, be abundant. I'm like, yeah, but with caution, because I see it so many times where, and I'm going to be a little controversial here. I'm going to
I
call it
like
out in the network marketing world. People are always doing that. Well, you need to be abundant. And there were times where I invested significant time and dollars to learn a new skill, and then felt that the expectation was that I was now responsible, quote, under the umbrella of being abundant, to go and transfer all that time and knowledge for free to everyone else that didn't want to spend the time and money to learn it.
You're Google.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I love about our relationship is we will divide and conquer. Hey, I'm going and learning this skill and you're going and learning that skill. And then together we're going to knowledge share. The
Mhm.
minute I hear something that I'm like, oh my God, Roxanne needs to know that, I don't think twice passing that on to you, because you're thinking the same things about me. And then when we talk about it together, sometimes we come up with something totally unique and different by bouncing through it. And so I love the fact that our relationship is one of abundance because we are both serving, we are both giving, and we are both receiving. So that's just a caution I give to people when they're looking for some kind of a power partner, business partner, something, is make sure that you are not the only one transferring knowledge.
That's so good and so true because then it's not a partnership. That's no, it's like yeah, it's you want to be, and you mentioned this earlier, but you want to be at the same frequency. And part of being at that same frequency or level is that you're both invested in it and you're both giving and taking so that it just all feels like give, I mean, feels like not give, but I mean, it just all feels good. I mean, all of it feels good. I think it's also really great that we've never spoken about this, but we have like a no whining policy.
We do. And I caught myself the
What's
other day. It was one of me, y'all have, it was a day. It was just a
great? You
day.
had a day.
And by the end of the day, I was having a little pity party for myself and I left you a Voxer message that wasn't my usual whatever. And you know what? Like 30 minutes later, I sent her a message right back. I'm like, ignore that. That is not who I am. I was not in my place. Here's why I said it, but we don't go there. Now we
It,
problem solve. Hey, I'm having this problem. I'm having this challenge, but we don't have that.
it made me laugh actually because I heard them all in session and I was like, I was
You
like,
heard the whole up, down, up, down.
oh my god. Which listen, we all have bad days, so it's not like I was like she's whining, shame her. But I realized in that moment we really do have a non-whining policy, and I think that sometimes when you are in the same business with the person who's your partner, you can go down a slippery slope the same way very easily when you've got different things going on, and it what you focus on grows, right? I mean, I think that's so
Mhm.
true. So when I'm having a bad day, if Megan's having a great day, I get to focus on her great day, and then suddenly my day gets really wonderful, and that happens all of the time, which I love.
Yeah, and I think that's something else we do really well for each other is there is not one bit of a comparison train going on or a competition train.
Mhm.
Now, we're both competitive people. So there's definitely hey, if I see you do something that worked really well, I'm immediately like, how can I translate that into my business and vice versa? And you strive me to up my game when I see you, hitting a goal faster than I've got or something there. But what I think has I've learned so much with it is there have been days where you are crushing it and I feel like I'm running up against one brick wall after another. And I love that it always seems to happen like when I'm having my worst business day ever is when you're having your best, because when I get those messages from you and hearing your successes, I swear every single time by the end of the day, my day turns around.
I
Just
love that.
does, because I think that positive energy, and I am 100% genuinely excited for you. I'm never going, oh, man, lucky Roxanne, I'm just over here, sucking wind or whatever. I'm like, holy crap, she is killing it. I have got to rise to the occasion to be there. And you do the same for me. I mean, even when you've had some personal junk going on, you are still cheering me on when you haven't been able to be doing what you wanted to do. And
Oh
I
my
think that is what keeps us both. But I mean, I think that's what keeps us both in just a constant growth mindset.
Absolutely, I love that, and I feel the same way. I mean, there's days where I'm like, okay, did I put something out there because no one is responding? What's going on? And meanwhile, in your world, you're like, oh my gosh, I hit that goal. I have this, this many people are doing this and that. I'm like, I get excited, and then I'm thinking, okay, Roxanne, this is a problem. Is actually needs to be solved. We're entrepreneurs. That's what we do. We solve problems. So if I have a problem, I see Megan's kicking it. So how do I fix my problem so I can kick it with her too? So it's really a symbiotic, and I love it. And I want to talk about like now. So we are. Did we start this train? Had I been to my? Did I take my little Europe trip? My little Europe. I hadn't done that yet.
No.
Oh, so it was before that. So I know that was the end of July.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of Augustish.
No, no, no. But wait, had I done? Wait, did I
Oh
go
no, you no, you had gone and come back.
when you and I started this?
Yes.
Okay, so it was August.
I feel like I remember it kind of starting when my daughter was getting back into school and stuff like that.
So August, so definitely August, which is interesting because for me, that's where I saw my like ironic. I don't think so. My business changed when I look at my numbers and I look at how things catapulted. August was the turning point, and I believe it was because of
Same.
two things. I give Megan total credit because having you in there with me was phenomenal, and then also deciding to invest in my business by doing some like real training, which is something that you and I both did separately, but we took that, hey, we need to invest in our business. And I know, or I believe that's something that when you're a network marketer, you kind of think, wait, I thought investing was joining and I got a kit and that's all I have to do. Wait, I have to, and maybe a monthly whatever, but actually investing in the business skills is something that you and I both valued and we decided to do at the same time. And I'm not saying it was like, oh yeah, here you go. Just like, oh, did I spend that? I didn't even notice. Like an investment that I don't want to say hurt, but mattered.
Scared.
Here, yes, we're like we had an Adam's apple. We would have seen the Adam's apple like a whoop. Like, did I just do that? Like, okay, got to make this work. But we both did that separately. And interesting enough, we did two different. I don't know what to call them. Like
They're two different programs.
two different
Yeah.
programs, both reputable, and we made that decision and became partners all at the same time. So my question for you, there's a question in there, is have you seen any difference in your business from that? I mean,
Yeah.
this is like a leading obvious, like here, but talk about that a little if you don't.
So I'll tell you what's interesting. Like if you were to look at my books, true profit loss books, I'll be totally transparent. You would not see a significant change in profit until just within the last couple weeks,
Mhm.
simply because of the investments that were going in. I had to make some tough technology investment choices where, hey, do you pay for the annual where you save that 25%? Or do you pay for the monthly? So things like that that you and I've talked through, probably just about every one of them. And when I am freaking out, you're like, get your head out of your butt, just do it. You know, it's
And
worth
vice
the
versa.
savings in the long haul. But there was a couple months of a lot of investing in the infrastructure and then also in the coaching. But what was cool is because, of course, I track it all on a spreadsheet.
Who are
To
you? Of course you do.
see a steady growth of revenue every month. And then all of a sudden, when all those foundations and all those investments were put in place, and finally the whole funnel, the whole everything came together, now it's like that steady little line is now like going shoo and taking off, and now all those investments are going to be paid off and it's going to be like almost all profit.
I love
And so, numbers wise, does it look like the second we started, revenue changed dramatically? No, because of the investment side.
that. Mhm.
But if you looked at my productivity from when we started to all the pieces that have been put in place, I have to go back and look at it myself every now and again, because sometimes you're so in the weeds going, you forget to take that step back and go, holy crap, I can't believe I just did
Yeah.
all that. And I look at that for both of us. It is nuts how much we have pushed out in the last 3 months. It's crazy.
It is. It's crazy, and it's like it feels good. You make that 90-day goal, and you believe it's going to happen. But when it's like, oh my gosh, it's really happening! It's really happening. One of the best feelings is that, and then being able to vox you or call you and go, it's really happening. It's really happening, and like exactly where I am. Don't get me wrong. Scott gets excited for me, but every time I tell him, he's like, "Can you remind me where that?" Like I
Well,
have
when
to
is that
remind
again?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have to do any of the last time on this episode.
And I'll tell you, for women in particular, I think you just brought up a really powerful topic is I think sometimes we fall in a trap of thinking that our significant other needs to be our person for
Mm.
everything, like the kind of person that you tell all the nuts and bolts to about everything. And I was guilty of that for a really long time. And my big aha moment finally one day was like, so my husband's passionate about mountain biking. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty much all he can talk about. And is that I have zero, like literally zero interest in it. If I could have a negative level interest in it, I would. But that is his thing. And one day it hit me. I'm like, why is it that I'm allowed to sit here and kind of halfway care about? I mean, I care about his passion and his love for it, but I really don't care about the latest shocks or I just don't. But yet I was expecting him to have the same level of enthusiasm and caring and knowing every nuts and bolts about what lights my fire.
Wow.
Like, Scott, for you, when I go up and tell him, like, and I'll tell him, like, okay, I need to tell you something, and this is a big deal. Get excited about it. And I tell him, well, then he's so excited for me.
Hmm.
But I had to have that mind shift. And so that's why I think, particularly if you are an entrepreneurial journey or any kind of starting a business, you need a person that gets it, because otherwise you're going to exhaust your significant other and you're never going to get back from them what you want.
Oh, that's so true. That's because you need that, like, you know, and yeah, I'm just thinking about conversations we've had. He and I've had even over the last couple of days because there have been some major like shifts in my business, and it's been exciting. And he always, I tell him a number. He's like, that's good, right? I'm like, that's amazing. Like, he's like, okay, then good. But then when I have to tell him it's amazing, and then he gives me the good, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not. I'm like, let me just go box Megan. She'll get it.
I want the instant reaction. And so having somebody in your court that you can have that with, and also sometimes I'll tell you something and you'll call me and you're like, I don't, or Megan, that wasn't in alignment with what you said you want to be doing. So we prevent each other from doing things we probably shouldn't. But yeah, if you're all in, somebody that gets what you're quote all in on, that can get super excited, because you need that. You need that.
You need it. And like, I know that we found each other kind of organically. So people are probably wondering, well, how do you find that person? I think what you said earlier was so good about you. When you decide, I think you make that decision and you're like, okay, I'm looking for this person. That will suddenly, she will be revealed to you. I'm saying she, it could be he, but that person will be revealed to you, and it makes all the difference. I think it's because I'm seeing more and more that network marketers are now going, oh, I kind of like this. I have a passion about this. How can I make this thing a business? And which is exciting. It's what you and I have done. And I totally champion anyone who wants to do that. In order to do that, I think you definitely need a person. You need a person.
You do. And you need a person who is as committed as you are, a person that will hold themselves accountable with or without you. The person is just going to help you up your game, but
Yes.
you're the only one that's going to keep. I mean, Roxanne, you don't go, Megan, go build the nurture sequence. No, I mean, I have to tell myself to go build the nurture
Right.
sequence, you know, but
And a glimpse of our conversations, I think that's a good example. We don't sit there and say, okay, you need to do X, Y, and Z. We don't do that. We, except for asking, we might say, what are your goals for this month? Or what are
yeah,
your
and you
goals?
usually do that. Hey, what are you focused on this week? What are you producing this week?
Yes. Other than that, it's really, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And then we kind of expect each other to update each other on it. We don't even give a whole, like, did you do such and such? Because that's not necessary. When we say we're going to do something, I know when Megan tells me she's going to do something, she's going to get it done. It's just a matter of if she gets it done in 5 seconds or in 24 hours, because she's that efficient.
Or, and I think the other reason we like to lay out, hey, here's what I'm doing this week, is now I know how to support each other.
Yeah.
It's like, I like knowing what your focus of the week is, so that when I check in, I can be like, hey, how's blah, blah, blah going? And how can I help? How can I help you as you were doing a big tech change? You're like, well, hey, you know what? If you could go take a look at this and let me know what you think. Yes, I can,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't, you got to know what each other's working on to know how to be able to pop in and support one another.
That is so huge, and that's so real. That's so true. And it's nice also when we want to make those big changes. You and I have both made, when you and I first started, you made the big tech change. You changed your website platform, which sounded like Hades, and I think it was, but was worth it. I was like, good on you. I'll see you in a few days. But I just changed mine. I'm actually still transitioning, but I've changed the really important part of it. and you were there for me all the way. And it really kind of, it helps to have that person. But I mean, listen, we've both made investments that are freaky scary. Oh my gosh, I think I need to move or upgrade my program now, or this or that. And it feels good to have someone who gives you perspective, because sometimes when you see those dollar amounts that you're putting out, without actually guarantees that the money is coming in, you need someone to go, hey, listen, you just did X, Y, and Z. The money is coming, it's already there. You know it's worth it. Make that change, do that thing, take a leap, and go for it. And that's something that I also don't think you can always get from a partner, because a romantic partner is not required to be your business partner. Um, and it's something that it really helps just hearing that other perspective. Like there's times where I'm like, does this make sense? Should I get this? Where I just need someone where I don't have to give them the
The
whole.
2-hour backstory. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. So, Megan, is there anything that you would add to the whole? Except a name would be nice, but if you can't do that, is there anything else you would add to the?
Like I said, the only name I think I could come up for us is not on air appropriate, but it suits us well.
It does.
um, Gosh, I would say my biggest takeaway, which thankfully we've never had to do, and I don't think we will, but I've had to in the past, is break up if you need to break up.
Mhm.
Because if it is no longer, if you feel like you are pouring forth everything and nothing is coming back, or if the little ding ding and you see it's a message from your quote power partner or your whatever partner it is, if the thought of seeing that like sucks the life out of you, break up and move on.
Ooh, that's good. You know, along those lines, I think is really important is realizing that, and we've talked about the fact that it's a partnership, like it's a give and take. You really are not serving your partner if all you are doing is feeding her and she's not feeding you.
Yeah.
She doesn't get that opportunity, and she needs that opportunity to grow. I need to be able to look to you, Megan, and learn from you, but also at the same time be able to show you or teach you something. That is so having that back and forth is so important. So don't feel like it's selfish if you are like, I need to break up because it's not working for me. Because honestly, if it's not working for you, she may not realize it's not working for her either.
No, not at all. Because then she's not learning how to grow on her own.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you need to learn how to grow on your own. This is not a 9 to 5. No one's going to hold your hand. You've got to figure out how to do this on your own.
Yes, for
I love
sure.
that. Thank you, Megan. I need you to tell us what you're up to, because you're always up to something.
Well, nothing today. A couple things. I think the thing I'm most excited about is a program I just launched that kicks off in January, and it's going to be super intimate, super high touch. It's called Achieve, and it's modeled a little bit after the 12-week year, which is something I'm uber passionate about. It's how I have structured my time forever. But where I think that book and that program falls a little bit short for an entrepreneur is it's really geared toward a corporate setting and a team. So what I have learned over the years and how I've tweaked it and modeled it is really built for the entrepreneur who, again, you're accountable to you. You're not managing a team of 6 or 12. But I love the whole principle behind it, which is you are treating every 12 weeks like a year, meaning every week is a month. Every day is a week. So you can't afford to miss a day.
Mm-mm.
And so what this program is going to be, I've only got 15 women in it, and it's filling up fast.
You're capping it at 15 women.
I'm capping it at 15 women because it's got to be really high touch, but it's going to go through the way I kind of like to describe it is we're going through the why. So what is your big vision, your dream? The what, getting your goal statements down, narrowing them down to your 3 focus goals for the 12 weeks, breaking down the how, both in a timeline and an action plan, creating the plan, and then executing it. So
Wow.
you're getting all of that, but most importantly, then you're being taught the framework at the end of those 12 weeks to go off and rinse and repeat. over and over and over again. And it just builds a really high achieving platform when you are constantly working towards that 12-week goal, checking it off and moving on. So that is something I'm super excited about that's going to be launching in January. And then I've got some fun stuff coming up soon. Keep your eyes out for it. It's going to be called Planapalooza. But I'm going to be doing some 2-hour workshops that will be live as we end the year and launch into the next year for folks that couldn't get into the Achieve program to at least get them set up for success with their plan for 2020.
I love it. Okay, wait, I go back. So Achieve starts in January, but you're taking applications
I'm
now.
taking applications now
Right.
because when you come into the Achieve program, you get my top program as part of that. So from now to the end of the year, you're taking the top program to start fine tuning your time management skills, time blocking, weekly planning, so that when we kick off Achieve on January 6th, that's already happening in your life. So I want to have some of that framework in place. So you're doing your homework from now to the end of the year, and then we are all in on January 6th.
Which is nice because you can do it on your own during the holiday season. And then it's like, all right, Megan, take me. So how does one apply?
So you can go to theworklifeharmony.com and then /achieve. And I'm sure you'll toss it in the show notes, but there's a page that kind of gives you the overview of it. And then from there, you can just book a call right with me. There's a button that'll pop up and we can just have a one-on-one chat and see if it's going to be a good fit.
I love it. And you also launched a podcast recently, did you not?
It is in the works, yes. So
Yay!
that was part of my 12-week year that I'm partway through right now, was having a podcast live with the initial 6 to 8 episodes. So it is actually in review in the Apple Store right now. It will be called Work Life Harmony.
Nice.
So by the time you all are listening to this, it may already be live. So go search and check it out. Yeah.
And subscribe and download. I love that. All right, Megan, you know that I'll probably talk to you right after this. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for just giving people a little bit of a glimpse behind the curtain, because I think that people see you see people growing, you see them doing things with their business, and you don't know, wait, what's going on behind the curtain. I like to show that, and so thank you for being transparent with me. So they can.
Yeah. And hey, for people watching this on YouTube, I'll show you what's really going on behind the curtain.
Oh yeah, check this out.
So this is how you work. For those of you just listening, I have a hysterical green screen that I use for videos that makes me look like I'm in a really nice office setting, but it's a hot mess reality behind the
And
curtain.
she's hilarious because she's like, what background do I want today? And she keeps switching it. Yeah. This is the tech woman. That's why. I love that. Thank you so much. And for those of you listening, all the information on how you can get onto Megan's website and apply for her Chief program will be in the show notes as well too.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. I hope you loved that conversation with Megan, and I hope you got some tidbits out of it that will help you as you go along your entrepreneurial direct marketing journey. So will you do me this favor, please? Will you please screenshot this and go ahead and put it on your Instagram stories? Go ahead and tag Roxtalks and tell me one takeaway you got from the conversation with Megan. I will highlight that on my stories as well and celebrate you. Would really appreciate that. So the tech tip was kind of rolled into that as well too. So I'm going to show you how to actually grab from your highlights, how to share a highlight. So let me go through that with you. If you are listening, you can go to the podcast website, roxannewilson.com/podcast, and will show you exactly how you can do a highlight. I think you'll really enjoy it. Super easy, and using those highlights and leveraging them in your business is so important. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. And then people get to watch the highlight. They watch some other things about you as well too. They'll probably start following you, but more importantly, that will lead to that business and that relationship. So use that. Share those highlight links. Again, you can use the highlight link. You can actually share it it through direct messenger, Facebook Messenger, whatever it is, text message, put it in an email. I put it in all of the things and it works quite well. All right. So that is your tech tip for today. One thing I promised you was to just kind of share my journey as an entrepreneur with you, a little behind the scenes of what's going on in my life, not to talk to you about like, ooh, what's going on in my life, but because I hope and it's my purpose that will help you as you grow as well too in your business. And this week, I want to talk to you about doing the scary thing, because that's what I did. Okay, so last challenge of just to let you know when this is recording, it's November 4th. Today is the very first day of the final 5-day Instagram Stories challenge of the year. First of all, I want you to know that's really scary for me because when I launched it, I did one, and then it was a free one. In fact, I did one, and I'm telling you that because, and I'll tell you numbers. We'll probably do another podcast completely on this launch, but I had 166 people do it. It was free. I just offered it to my friends. 166 people did it. Okay, I put it like on Facebook or something. Then from there, I started making it an actual thing. And I was, at one point, I did like 2 or 3 in the same month. Just week after week, I just keep on doing another one. And then I tapered it down to 1 a month. And then I realized, listen, Roxanne, like there's only 1 month left in the year. Well, there's another one, but December, people aren't going to do a challenge. I said, you know what, let me go all in on this last one. Now that's kind of scary for me because this has been the best way for people to join my membership. And that's why I say, because they have a really good idea of what membership's going to be like. And also it's way that most of the people have come in to my membership have come in through the story challenge. So for me to say, okay, with my business, I'm going to pause that lead in that funnel. I'm going to put a pause on that funnel for a month is a little scary because I've just started. I mean, I'm a few months in, right? 6 maybe. Well, is that much? That many? I don't know. Anyway, all that to say, I took the plunge and I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all in. This is the last one, and I'm going to let everybody know. The other thing I decided to do was and this was a little while, but I just came back from this program I'm part of, BBD, Business by Design. We had a live event 2 weeks ago, but by then it was the week before. And at that, I decided to make some investments in my business and change some platforms. Honestly, bigger investment for me, which of course as an entrepreneur can be a little bit scary, but I just felt it was the right thing to do for my clients. I wanted to switch my membership site to one that I felt was more user-friendly and was more my person. My target market, I don't think you guys I've told you this before, but her name is Tessa. And I thought to myself, Tessa would like this site more than the other site. That's what I did. I know that sounds wild, but that is what I did. And so in doing that, I made the plunge and told myself, okay, the best way to roll out the new website is to make sure that it's ready to go for the challenge. That way anyone who's in the challenge who becomes a member is already in there. And then phase 2 is transferring over all my current members, getting their site all yummy and wonderful on this new site so it's ready for them. So I made that change and told myself I had to have it ready by today, but sooner than that for people to come in, right? So last Monday. And I'll tell you honestly, I had about 12 people in the challenge, which is not a lot. Not a lot for me, but not trending wise. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So a couple things. With this new site, I also had the ability to thank my members. And I wanted to thank them by creating an affiliate program that I thought was really robust, which is another scary thing, but I'm like, let me go all in and do it. So I did. I let them know about the affiliate program. First, those kind of crickets. And then things just started happening last week. And when I say last week, I mean to tell you that at the end of October, so let's say October 30th, I had I was in the 20s of people in the challenge. And I just thought, I know my goal is 150. I need to get to 150. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it clicked for my members where they realized, wait a moment. So I can, with affiliate program, they can get basically I'm giving them a cut of the challenge And to me, that made sense. I wanted them I wanted to thank them because they've been awesome. And they've just been like, yeah, they joined me and they've been growing, but still it's like early adopters. I'm the girl that will sleep out for an apple. I've done that before. I've spent the night waiting for a new Apple product. So I get it, but not everyone does that. Most people wait to make sure that it works before they dip their toe in. So I started this affiliate program. Well, it just like clicked for some of my members. And then the next thing you know, the numbers kept growing. I kept getting the pings on my phone, y'all. Just ping, ping, ping. And I'm like, what is this? And it dawned on me that I was going to hit my goal. But then the craziest thing was of 150, which still 150 was just a number I always had in my head. What I didn't realize until I went back and looked is that the very first one I did when it was free, it was 166 people. So then I'm like, well, I got to go for that goal. Well, when I tell you, it started like snowballing and still is. As of this recording, which is about 1 o'clock on Pacific time, on the 4th of November, there are 368 members in the challenge. I cannot tell you how that makes me feel. Oh, okay. I did not expect that. Did not see that one coming. Having that many people in the challenge means I get to actually help 368 people who've been struggling with their business and looking for something or some way to grow and haven't found it yet. And I get to help them with that. I get to hold their hand for the next 5 days and hopefully beyond and help them with the tools so they don't have to cringe every time they hear the word Instagram or Instagram stories. So they feel empowered with their business. So they actually feel like business owners and not glorified salespeople. And that, to me, that's the best feeling. That is the best feeling. And then on top of that, the fact that the affiliate program has gone so well, which means that I get to give back to my members who have believed in me, and I can say thank you to them in a great way. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh. I didn't, wow. Anyway, all that to say, I should have put my Urban Decay setting makeup on because now I'm like teary. But it's been the best dang feeling. I'm not gonna lie. You listening to this podcast, you know that from hearing Megan and I talk, that it's work and we love it and we do the things and you just because you believe in the message and your ability to help people. And to get to that point where you're like, wow, I get to help more people more than I even imagined, the best feeling. So why am I telling you all this? Well, because hopefully you got something out of that. But I want to tell you that sometimes you have to look at a situation and ask yourself, a problem is not like, it's not the end. I had 12 people in the challenge a week ago. There are now 368 people. Think about that. It was believing that it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. It was going to happen. I was talking to Scott. I'm like, I have 22 people now, 22. And he's like, how many? When you need 150? I'm like, it's happening. It's happening. I believed it was going to happen, A. And then I really looked at ways to give back in the middle of it. And by doing that, golly gee willikers, here we are. So I hope that reminds you that there's a way that you can, if you're out there wanting to impact people, if you want to solve a solution for people, you can do it. And sometimes it's taking that risk. It's making that investment in the new membership site, which, by the way, my members love, A, and B, has been so user-friendly and fantastic for all the people in the challenge that I'm just like, why didn't I do this sooner? Well, it wasn't time. I always say you're not behind, you're not ahead, you're exactly where you need to be. I'm exactly where I need to be right now, and where I am is helping other entrepreneurs, and I'm so excited for that. And before I start getting teary again, I'm gonna leave it at that, okay? for the week. Thank you so much for listening to Roxtalks. Thank you for being part of this amazing community of network marketers who really want to grow their business on Instagram and social media. There's so many great things coming up on the pipeline. I can't wait to share them with you. I will be back next week. But in the meantime, if you are not a subscriber of Roxtalks, well, why not? It's time to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts, whether that happens to be on Apple Podcasts or it happens to be on Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, you name it. We're there. You can also go to roxannewilson.com/podcast so that you can get the deets on Megan Summerall and also the deets on this episode. Thank you so much, you all. I'll see you later and enjoy your week. And I think we're going to end the episode with this all the time because I'm really that passionate about it. You're not ahead. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. See you next time.